My husband confessed he's been secretly in love with my sister for years, and now my sister is suing me for beating her up. I'm 32F, and my husband, Liam, is 35M, have been together for almost 10 years and married for 5. I always thought we had a strong relationship. Sure, we've had our ups and downs like any couple, but nothing that made me question our love for each other. But recently, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew about my marriage. To give some context, I have a younger sister, Maia, 28F. We've always been close, and she's been a big part of my life. She's fun, smart, beautiful, and charming. The kind of person everyone loves to be around. When I introduced her to Liam, they got along well, which I thought was great. I mean, who wouldn't want their husband to get along with their sister, right? A few weeks ago, Liam started acting strange. Distant, distracted, like his mind was somewhere else. I tried talking to him about it, but he brushed it off, saying it was work stress. I believed him at first, but the more I paid attention, the more I realized something was seriously off. He wasn't himself, and it was starting to scare me. Then, last night, everything came out. We were having dinner, and I could tell something was bothering him. I asked him if he was okay, and that's when he just blurted it out, "I'm in love with Maia." I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. At first, I thought I'd misheard him. There was no way my husband had just said he was in love with my sister. But he kept going, saying that he'd been struggling with these feelings for years, ever since he met her. He said he never acted on them, that he loved me, but that he couldn't lie to me anymore. He needed to be honest about how he felt. I didn't know what to say. I just sat there in shock, trying to process what I was hearing. My husband, the man I've built a life with, has been in love with my sister all this time? How could I have not seen it? How could he have kept this from me for so long? Liam kept talking, saying that he didn't want to hurt me, that he wished he didn't feel this way, but he couldn't deny it anymore. He swore that nothing physical ever happened between him and Maia, but that he couldn't go on pretending like everything was fine when he was in love with someone else. I asked him if Maia knew about this, and he said no. He claimed he never told her because he didn't want to complicate things and that he's kept these feelings to himself, hoping they'd go away. But they didn't. I ended up leaving the house that night and staying at a friend's place because I couldn't even look at him. I feel so betrayed. He might not have physically cheated, but it feels like an emotional affair that's been going on for years, right under my nose. I haven't told Maia yet, and I don't know if I should. I don't want to drag her into this mess, but I also feel like she deserves to know what's been happening behind her back. I haven't spoken to Liam since I left, and I'm not sure how to move forward from here. Update 1. I'm back with an update, and things have only gotten more complicated. After reading through all your comments and messages, thank you so much. By the way, I took a few days to process everything before deciding what to do next. First, I decided to confront Maia about everything. It was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had, but I knew I couldn't keep this from her any longer. I needed to know if she had any idea what was going on. So, I asked her to meet up for coffee, and once we were settled, I just came out with it. I told her everything Liam had said, that he's been in love with her for years, that he never acted on it, but that he couldn't keep it to himself anymore. Maia's reaction was complete shock. She was horrified and immediately assured me that she had no idea he felt that way. She kept saying how disgusted she was that he would betray me like that and how she never saw him as anything more than my husband, her brother-in-law. I believed her. Maia and I have always been close, and I could see how shaken she was by the whole thing. She told me that if I needed space from her, she'd understand, but I told her it wasn't her fault. This wasn't on her. Liam is the one who's been hiding these feelings, and I couldn't blame Maia for something she didn't even know about. Still, the whole conversation left us both feeling raw and uncomfortable. I couldn't help but wonder if things would ever feel normal between us again. After talking to Maia, I knew I needed to have another conversation with Liam. I couldn't avoid him forever, and I needed answers, about where we go from here, about whether there was any way to save our marriage. So, I went home and sat him down for a long, painful talk. Liam was apologetic, more than I've ever seen him before. He told me again how sorry he was for hurting me, how much he regretted keeping this from me for so long. He said he never wanted to feel this way, that he's been trying to fight it, but the more he tried to push his feelings down, the more they grew. He begged me to understand that he never intended to act on them, that he still loves me, and that he wants to work on our marriage. But here's the thing, I don't know if I can move past this. How do I stay with someone who's been secretly in love with my sister for years? Even if nothing physical happened, the emotional betrayal is almost too much to bear. Every time I look at Liam, all I can think about is how he's been hiding this huge part of himself from me for almost our entire relationship. I keep replaying all the moments we spent with Maia, wondering if he was thinking about her, not me. We've decided to take a break. Liam moved out to stay with a friend while I figure out what I want. Part of me wants to try and work things out, but another part of me is terrified that I'll never be able to trust him again. I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake the feeling that I wasn't enough, that he wanted someone else all along. For now, I'm focusing on myself. I've been seeing a therapist to help me work through all the emotions this has brought up, and I'm trying to take things one day at a time. It's been hard, and I'm still feeling incredibly hurt and betrayed, but I'm doing my best to stay strong. Thank you for all your support and advice. It's helped me more than you know, and I'm grateful for this community. I'll keep you updated as things progress, but for now, I'm just trying to figure out what my future looks like, whether it's with Liam or without him. Update 2. Hi, I really wish I had better news, but things have taken a dark turn, and I'm completely heartbroken. After my last post, I kept trying to convince myself that maybe Liam was telling the truth, that this was just about unrequited feelings he never acted on. But deep down, something didn't feel right. There was this gnawing doubt that I couldn't shake, and I knew I needed answers. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through his emails. I know it was wrong. I know I was invading his privacy, but I was desperate. I needed to know the truth, and what I found confirmed my worst fears. There were emails. Hundreds of them. They dated back 6 years, between Liam and Maia. Explicit messages, discussions about sneaking around behind my back, conversations about when and where they'd meet up. It wasn't just an emotional affair. They'd been sleeping together for years. I felt like I was going to vomit. My whole body was shaking as I scrolled through message after message, seeing every detail of their betrayal laid out in front of me. Every secret rendezvous, every lie they told me, it was all there. I couldn't believe I had been so blind. For 6 years, they had been carrying on behind my back, and I had no idea. I confronted Liam immediately. I didn't even wait. I called him, told him I knew everything, and demanded he come to the house. When he arrived, he didn't even try to deny it. He just looked defeated, like he knew he'd been caught. He admitted everything, that he and Maia had been seeing each other for 6 years, that they couldn't stop, but that they both knew it was wrong. I couldn't even process what he was saying. The rage I felt was beyond anything I'd ever experienced. I couldn't stand to be in the same room as him, and I told him to leave. He tried to apologize, but I slammed the door in his face. But I wasn't done. I went straight to Maia's apartment and confronted her. I didn't care if she knew I had seen the emails. I was beyond caring about anything. She tried to play innocent at first, but when I told her I had proof, her whole demeanor changed. She admitted it too, said she was sorry, that she didn't want to hurt me, but that she couldn't stop herself. That's when things got physical. I lost it. Years of betrayal, anger, and pain came out, and I ended up grabbing her by the hair. We fought, full-on screaming, hitting, pulling each other apart. I ripped a chunk of her hair out before I even realized what I was doing. Neighbors had to break us up. I left in a fury, but the next day, Maia called the police on me. She's pressing charges for assault, and now I'm dealing with that on top of everything else. I can't believe she's trying to paint herself as the victim after what she did to me. So now, I've filed a countersuit for emotional distress, and we're locked in this legal battle. I'm numb. I can't believe my life has come to this. My husband and my sister, the two people I trusted the most, have destroyed everything. I don't know where to go from here, but I'm fighting back. I won't let them ruin me. Update 3. Hey, I'm back again, and things have just gotten worse, if that's even possible. After my last update, I've been trying to keep myself together, but this legal battle with Maia has taken everything out of me. I honestly feel like I'm fighting for my sanity at this point. After Maia filed charges for the fight, I knew I couldn't just sit back and let her turn this whole thing around on me. So, with the help of my lawyer, I filed a countersuit for emotional distress and defamation. I wasn't going to let her ruin my life any more than she already has. Since then, things have escalated. Maia's lawyer has been trying to paint me as the unhinged one, focusing entirely on the physical altercation and ignoring the fact that she's been having an affair with my husband for 6 years. It's infuriating, seeing her try to twist the narrative and play the victim. I've had to gather all the evidence I could, emails, texts, anything to prove that this wasn't just some random attack but the result of years of betrayal and manipulation. Liam, of course, has stayed out of this legal mess, though I'm sure he's behind the scenes supporting Maia. I've barely spoken to him since the confrontation, but from what I've heard through mutual friends, he's still in contact with her. The fact that they've continued to stay close after everything makes my blood boil. I keep wondering if they're still seeing each other or if this whole thing has just blown up in their faces. My family is a mess, too. My parents are devastated by what's happened. They're trying to stay neutral, but I know they're heartbroken over the rift between Maia and me. They've been supportive of me, but I can tell they don't know how to handle the fact that their daughters are suing each other in court. It's like our entire family has been torn apart by this nightmare. I'm not sure how long this legal battle is going to last, but I'm prepared to see it through. I can't let Maia win, not after what she's done to me, to my marriage, to our family. I don't care if it takes everything I have, I won't let her walk away from this unscathed. Thank you everyone, for sticking with me through all of this. Your support has been the one constant in a sea of chaos, and I can't express how much it's meant to me. I'll keep you updated as things progress, but for now, I'm just trying to survive one day at a time. Update 4. Hey everyone, I'm back again. It's been a whirlwind of court appearances, lawyers, and mediation attempts since my last update. But it looks like things are finally starting to settle, though not in the way I ever expected. We had our first major court hearing last week regarding the assault charges Maia filed against me and the countersuit I filed against her for emotional distress. The tension in that courtroom was unbearable. Seeing Maia across the room, pretending like she was the victim, while I had to sit there and listen to her lawyer tear me apart, it was almost more than I could handle. But then, something happened that I never saw coming. Maia, under pressure from my lawyer, finally admitted that the affair with Liam had been going on for the entire 6 years of my marriage. She had tried to downplay it before, but now, under oath, she couldn't lie anymore. Hearing her admit to everything in court was both validating and devastating. I had known the truth, but having it out in the open like that, with everyone watching, was like reliving the betrayal all over again. The judge wasn't impressed with either of us, especially not with the fact that this had turned into a family feud gone horribly wrong. But he seemed to understand that the physical fight between us wasn't just some random attack. He recognized that it stemmed from years of emotional manipulation, betrayal, and deceit. While I'm not off the hook entirely for the fight, the assault charges have been reduced significantly, and I'll likely only face a fine or community service. As for Maia's defamation claims, those were dismissed. The judge saw right through her attempt to paint me as some unstable villain, and he ruled in my favor on the emotional distress suit. It's a small victory, but it feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Maia and I aren't done, though. We still have a lot of legal mess to clean up, and the tension between us is worse than ever. I doubt we'll ever speak again. Liam, for his part, has completely disappeared from my life. I've filed for divorce, and he hasn't even tried to fight it. It's like he's resigned to the fact that this is over, and honestly, I think he's probably staying with Maia. I'm not even sure if I care anymore. I just want them both out of my life for good. I've been working hard to move on, but it's not easy. My family is fractured. My trust in people is shattered, and I feel like I've lost years of my life to this nightmare. But I'm trying. I'm focusing on my career, my friends, and rebuilding myself from the ground up. Thank you, Reddit, for everything. You've been with me through the worst moments of my life, and I'm forever grateful for your support. I'll keep pushing forward, no matter how hard it gets. Update 5. Hi guys, I'm back with what I hope will be my final update. A lot has happened since the last time I posted, and I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting my life back on track, even though there's still so much healing left to do. First things first, the legal battles with Maia are officially over. After everything that's happened, both of our lawyers agreed that continuing to drag this out in court was only going to make things worse for everyone involved. We reached a settlement, and while it's not exactly the outcome I had hoped for, I'm relieved that this chapter is finally closing. Maia and I haven't spoken since that day in court. As far as I'm concerned, she's out of my life for good. I don't know if we'll ever have any kind of relationship again, but at this point, I don't care. The damage she and Liam have done is too deep. Maybe one day I'll find it in me to forgive her, but right now, I'm not ready for that. And I don't think I ever will be. As for Liam, the divorce is moving forward, and I'm expecting it to be finalized in the next few months. He's been quiet throughout this whole process, and I think he's just as eager to put this behind him as I am. I've heard through the grapevine that he's still seeing Maia, but honestly, I couldn't care less. They deserve each other. But here's the thing, I'm finally starting to feel free. The weight of the betrayal, the legal battles, the constant pain and anger. It's all starting to lift. I'm focusing on myself, my healing, and the future I want to build. I've started going to therapy regularly, and it's helping me process everything in a healthy way. I've reconnected with old friends, and I'm even thinking about taking a solo trip to just clear my head and figure out who I'm outside of this mess. It's been hard, and there are still days where I feel like I'm drowning in the aftermath of what Liam and Maia did to me. But I'm learning to take things one step at a time. I'm not the same person I was before all of this, but I'm okay with that. I'm stronger, wiser, and I refuse to let them define me or my future.